Hello guys, it is me, Katona, and today we're going to be playing another cringy romance game, A Pinch of Magic, but this time it's not about furries, okay? It's about actual people. Ooh, I can play Major Minors. Okay, anyway, Major Minors is actually a good game, not gonna lie. So I need to start. What's your name? Your Majesty, let's roll with that. He, him, let's do that character. Yeah. I let out a fraying yawn as I leapt down from the bus onto the pavement below, bags in hand. Finally made it. Drinking the familiar surroundings, I take a moment to execute some quick squats. Why am I executing some quick squats? This stretcher size is exactly what my compressed muscles ordered. I'll stick from this several hour-long bus ride from city to the sea. I wonder if this is how Jack-in-the-Boxes feel when they pop out. Newly energized, extend my arms to the tropical sun as if to pluck it from the sky and take in the gritty lumpo of delicious sea air. As always, the warm climate here on the coast feels as though it's welcoming me back home, back to the place where I belong. I've missed this, all of it, and ahead of me is a summer-long period of peace and respite. I just graduated high school, and from now on, there will be no parents, teachers, or peers reminding me with every breath that I'm waiting to the end of my teenage years with no direction, just the sun, the sea, and this place. Actually, this sentence is correct. Waiting to the end of my teenage years with no direction. My destination, a tranquil seaside town of Linsdale, nestled in a quiet, crescent-shaped cove on the coast and clipped by the starry, deep blue waves of the East Sea. Some people have taken to affectionately nicknaming it Moon Bay. Give me a second. Pretty occultic name, all things considered, but it always seems perfectly apt because it's also the town my grandmother, my Baba, calls home, and she just so happens to be an exceptional and absolutely eccentric witch. I'm gonna find out. Baba. No, hang on, I have a better idea. So, Google Translate. What about the tech language? Why can't I do tech language? What about the tech language? Why am I not allowed tech language? Do I have to? I can't find it out, guys. Sorry. Oh, my dog! Okay. Finley, you wanna come inside? Come inside, boy. Alright. Hey, Finley, come here. You're a good boy. You're cute. Hey, you're cute. Finley! Finley, you wanna come here? Okay, fine. You can lay over there. All these years later, and I still wouldn't put it past her, had joined Moon Bay herself just because of my drum of business alone among the magic folk. But for the first time in 3 years, she asked me to visit this summer, and I can't wait to resume my magic trip. My fingers, electrified, are already tingling at the prospect. I reach into the pocket of my hoodie, feeling for the letter she'd sent, making sure it's still there. Cursive on vellum and wax seal. Yep, nobody except that wily old woman would write like this anymore. If I could, I would. That's actually kind of cool. It's no time like the present. Unable to hide my eagerness to see her again, I hoist my bags up to my shoulders and take off at the distance sprint up the staircase, leaving the bus stop far behind. And once I leap across the threshold of the stairway's end, I see the sight I've longed for and open my lungs wide. Hello, coffee curiosities. I'm home. My grandmother's cafe stands before me, a static monument among the other buildings, utterly unchanged, like a moment in time, perfectly preserved the way I always remembered it. It reminds me of my childhood, of iced tea in summer, sea salt, ice cream, and freer days spent under Baba's tutelage. That in itself is a rare kind of magic that leaves me spellbound. Naturally, my happy cry draws the attention of several passerby outside the store, many of whom recognize me and wave in greeting. Well, I'll be, and if it isn't your majesty. Been a spell since you've been back. Still kept that strange habit of greeting the cafe like it's a person I see. Well, she's not wrong. I guess I'm a little old to be shouting in public. But as Baba used to say, a witch breathes magic and life into all things. Every word is a charm, every sentence is a spell. Now that I think about it, it's totally possible that she was just hoodwinking an entirely extremely gullible 5-year-old, but well, it's a cute tradition, so who cares? I wave energetically back. Hey there, it's good to see you again. Do you know if my grandmother is about? The person seems to give a pause, and she forces a smile, which can only be read as guilty embarrassment. Oh, you mean she? Well, I'm not too sure. Haven't been in for coffee for a while, see. Anyway, nice to see you, kid. Before I have a chance to respond, she scuttles off over the hill, leaving me stranded in confusion at the shop floor. What in the hemlock was that all about? Glancing over the cafe again, my eyes narrow suspiciously and roam up and down the building. I finally notice it wasn't extremely tall and clear. It's the height of the morning, and yet the curtains are shut tight. Fisher is still as how quiet it is. Wait, tell me. Practically kick the door down in my provoked state, and once inside, all of my suspicions are confirmed. Not only are all the lights switched off, not only are there no customers, not only has the door clearly been left unlocked, complete disregard to nasty drowns, thieves or trespassers, but on top of that, Baba is nowhere to be found. The lingering mega fragrance of sweet teas and bitter coffees temporarily catches me off guard, filling my nose and mind with happy memories, but I quickly remember why I'm here. I stomp across the cafe floor. My spit's about to choke me out. I stomp across the cafe floor in big strides, making a beeline to the door at the far end of the room. The door hidden behind a heavy satin curtain, bewitched to be invisible to all non-magic customers. Baba! Baba! I stopped dead in my tracks. In the secret room, piled floor to ceiling with mystical objects, with Baba's crystal ball table. A table radiating with memories, a African woman sitting in her lap, poring over dusty tomes and having the wonders of magic whispered in my ear. And now, on that table, clearly awaiting my arrival, is a small paper ornament, an enchanted letter, folded into the shape of a miniature rabbit. When I enter the room, it turns up its ears and bounds up from its slumber, hopping to the table's edge to greet me. I would recognize this magic anyway. Baba would while away hours, folding these pictures for me as I studied until she gifted me the entire animal kingdom out of paper. It never failed to put a smile on my face. It can only mean she's buttering me up for some unsavory news. I skeptically scoop up the paper rabbit in my hand, and at the touch of my finger upon its nose, it unraveled itself. Sure enough, my grandmother has inked a note inclusive inside. My dearest Your Majesty, I run away. Since I was the one who invited you to stay with me this summer, I'll venture that this will come as a shock to you. Never part of my plan, but running the cafe was beginning to feel rather dull. Then I remembered it's mugwort season, and also that the witch folk are hosting a mushroom picking festival in the mountains. Much less droll by far. Do not come searching for me. Write to me though if you want to bring you back some mugwort. Otherwise, I shall bring you nothing. Take care of the place while I'm gone. P.S. I hope you have money. The pantry's empty. I knew it! That wayward old witch! Slumping onto one of the table's squishy cushions, I throw my arms up in defeat. I absolutely should have expected this, flying through life by the seat of her pants, living by her every whim, dropping beans when they longer suit her. This entire situation reaches into the far recesses of my mind, conjuring up echoes of countless other past examples of how mercurial Baba could be. Closing up at noon to go skinny dipping in the ocean, hosting a luau party, passing out after an hour on her own deadly magic punch. caperish there's no field bounds. She may have taught me everything I know of magic, but early on I had to master brewing tea and coffee, not just potions, just to keep this place running smoothly. It suddenly dawns on me exactly why this passerby had asked so suspiciously. But she cut and ran days ago and told everyone in town not to breathe a word. Yep, sounds about right. No matter how you cut it, she's just running from her responsibilities again. I seriously have no clue how she managed to keep this place running all these years. My lips press themselves into a thin, stubborn line. Mugwort tea is my favorite though, so I guess it's time to go shopping. An hour or so later, I've made begrudging progress on the cafe's starry state. The door now locked and the curtains still tightly drawn. I make use of the privacy by enchanting Baba's dustpan and broom and setting them to work on the floor. They whiz about the room in a waltz, making quick work of any dust or grime in the path. After a brief inspection, all that remains in the fridge is a curdled bottle of milk. Ew. Pantry cupboards had also been harboring nothing but dust, and were saved earlier by a trip to the local supermarket. Rest in peace, poor wallet. Luckily, it all seems the cafe's more expensive wares are in plentiful stock. Exotic plethora of tea leaves and underground coffee beans. Unground coffee beans have been safely stored in bags or dry containers. These siphons, mills, and other apparatus too are in good working. Knowing Baba's devil-may-care attitude, the situation could have been far worse. I should count my blessings she didn't let any rats inside those bags. A moment, as if my words were suddenly a person whose under efforts, Baba's cat slinks into the room and up onto the couch to glare at me. There you are, Hannibal. It was just familiar, reduced to a rat catcher. How the mighty fall in the wrong hands. But since you don't have anything better to do, if you see any doubt, you be sure to let me know. When I reach across the counter, scritch beneath her neck, she forgets her grumpiness in a heartbeat and pads off to the bedroom for an afternoon nap. The dustpan and broom seem done with their work. I thank them for the service and place me in the cupboards in order. After a satisfying stretch, I pull back the curtains to survey the place triumphantly. Watch out, Loonsdale. We're back in business. I lean with hands on hips. It's a funny feeling that courses through my chest. A kind of liberation and pride that comes with being freed or wantonly spellcast for the first time in a painfully long while. I missed it even more than I thought it would. Not too rusty though, thankfully. Now then, the last port of call. Flip that sign, and after that, I guess it's time to brew some criminally delicious coffee. But as soon as I step outside, I pause. My senses are once more splashed by the salty air, the sun's warmth, and the rough sounds of a soaring flock of seagulls. And in my line of sight, the sea itself, a shimmering crystal blue expanse, calling me back to its edge. Well, I've worked pretty hard, if I do say so myself. Just a little stretch of the legs beforehand couldn't hurt. And so with slow, meandering strides, I cross the pavement and pace down the small stone staircase heading for the beachfront. Take my time enjoying the afternoon breeze and the journey all the way to the boardwalk and beyond. When I reach the beach edge, I slide off my shoes and press on, free and barefoot in the sand. It softly envelops my feet as I walk, like a floor made of satin. The waves, too, are like rolls of crystalline satin sheets being unraveled onto the shore, rolling over rock shells in themselves and gently slipping back to their source. As ever, Moonbay, you're almost too perfect. I plop myself down into the sand, stretching out my legs and sitting down on the water something. I wonder if she's still out there. But before I continue that thought, one of my back pocket hums, and when I retrieve it, I see several texts incoming from my parents. The message cascade simultaneously into the group chat, making it plainly obvious that they're both sitting beside each other, taking as they join to the window. Did you arrive safely? You forgot to text us. We were worried. How's Baba? Is she doing well? How's her back? And there it is. I sigh, typing back my regular response whenever they awkwardly attempt to bring her up. If you're that worried, you could always, try talking to yourself yet. I'm sure she'll be from both of you. Okay, there we go. After a brief exchange ending in I love yous all around, I swing my phone to the side and fall back onto the stem bed. The history between my parents and Baba was fractured, to say the least. In this world, where so few people are gifted with the ability to wield magic, we hide what we are for an easier life. Hundreds of years ago, those without the gift feared us, persecuted us, and worse. The world was messy, which folk decided almost unanimously it was better to fade into anonymity and cause trouble. Nowadays, as far as the rest of normal society is concerned, it's that we exist out there somewhere, Rarely do you see witch shouting from rooftops. Despite the good I know we do, there's no glory in it at all. So, as for my parents and Bubba, well, Bubba had always been an immensely talented witch. First time I was sent here to stay with her for the summer, I was 3. She showed me a few simple spells, and even though I could barely speak, I guess I was a natural. I still remember her sweeping me up when I successfully levitated a paperclip. She was so giddy, it was impossible for her to contain herself. But my parents were different. They never taught me magic, never encouraged me to learn it. All they wished for me was an utterly normal life. They asked Bubba to stop teaching me, and that was that. And so they thought. When they found out I'd flown in the face of their disapproval, and had secretly been studying hard under Baba every summer for 10 years. Oh boy, I remember that day. Dad's face went a shade of blue. I didn't think was possible outside of being hexed. After that, the relationship became strained. We stopped talking. I became their mediator, their owl ferrying messages back and forth. I stopped visiting Linsdale for a while, to give them all time to cool off. There's just too much text. I'm getting bored. Sigh. A normal life, a boring life, devoid of magic. I feel empty just at the thought. But honestly, I don't really have the first clue about what I want to do in the future. If only witch folk didn't have to hide who we were. As I raised myself back off my knees, I realized that I've been absentmindedly dragging my finger through the sand all this time. I draw nothing remotely artistic, of course, just a bunch of badly drawn squirrels that barely resemble shapes at all. Hit, these are almost as terrible as Kia. The spark ignites a recollection in my mind. The spark sends me flying back to before I've been interrupted by my parents' messages. Back to thoughts of a friend from long ago. My eyes meet the sea again. Kia's home, my childhood friend who had been as much a part of my summers in Linsdale as my grandmother. She was an extraordinary person in her own right, a mermaid who befriended a witch. Shy and a little fumbling in the beginning, she barely grasped human language. Kia was just about the only sense she could make. We'd communicate by drawing shapes in the sand, and those for hers were terrible. I got pretty good at deciphering them. Okay. I could still clearly remember our first meeting here on the shore. I was 5. Mom and Dad had just asked Baba to stop teaching me magic, and I was wailing to the ocean at the top of my lungs. It was only once my tears had dried up that I noticed a curious baby mermaid who'd snuck away from home to investigate the surface. Who was peering at me through the waves. As I reminisce, that smile spreads across my face. Kia, that's right. I wonder if she and her family still even swim in these waters. With a new purpose, I leap up and dust myself off. I tread up and down the beach, scanning the waves for any sign of movement, but surprisingly, I don't find a trace of her anywhere. There isn't a fin in sight. Well, that'll teach me for being willfully optimistic. As if mermaids would ever venture as close to shore, they'd be found out in a heartbeat. Still, I haven't exhausted all the tricks up my sleeve just yet. Determined, I set off up and down the beach once again, this time with eyes to the sand, scouring the golden floor for any particular object. Finally, wedged between some barnacle rocks, I find exactly what I'm looking for. Prismatic conch, shimmering and weighty to the touch. There's too many words. Just say it's heavy. And more importantly, in the hands of a witch, it's a horn that, when blown, can sing a sound only a mermaid could hear. It's an ancient spell Baba had taught me as a child, used by the old witches in times of strife to call mermaids to their aid. And together, Kia and I had repurposed it. Since the day we met, it had been my way of communicating to her. I'm here. I want to see you. Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out if she's still there, listening for me. As a precaution, I spin about, checking for onlookers, but this corner of the beach is deserted. So, reaching into the recesses of my mind for the ancient spell, I pluck out its melody note by note, and whisper my request to the shell of my fingertips. One sec. This is too many words. Weight of the word waves, my bottomless heartbeat, notion of love built just for you. And if thou art astray and far away from home, the sound of my sea will call you home. As the conch begins to gleam, I gather my breath and blow gently into its tip. Whee! But no matter how many times I call, whee! Kia doesn't appear. The waves simply keep rolling. I didn't call you, Brie! My sister thought she called me. The waves simply keep rolling over the sand at my feet, slowly soaking in and causing me to sink. So she left in search of somewhere better after all. No Baba, no Kia. This was truly shaping up to be a pretty miserable summer. Pain, I felt pain. I felt in my chest, as sudden but not unexpected. 3 years ago, when I said goodbye and left Wednesday, I didn't know it would be the last time. I didn't get the chance to tell her. Someone said, my shoulders drooped a little. She always was so timid and unsure of herself. I wonder if she waited every summer for me to come back, and I never did. But never one to let sadness get the better of me for long. I clapped my cheeks together. At the very least, I know that right now, what I can do is see her off with a smile. I'm sorry, Kia, but I hope wherever you are, you're swimming happy, and that your drawings don't suck anymore. After exhaling my feelings cathartically into the afternoon air, I turned heel and head back towards the stairs. Stairs. Oh my god, my language is becoming impeded. Yeah, it's becoming bad. Alright. Alright, it's time to open the cafe for the evening. But as my head swims with thoughts of coffee beans, recipes, and measurements, I forget to check for obstacles in my path, and before I know it, what? I collide with someone else. I'm so sorry, please excuse me. The bump has successfully knocked me down a stair or two, but as I shake off the pain, her eyes meet mine. Her golden irises, her amethyst hair, everything about her beauty is dazzling, and it temporarily catches me off guard. Phew, I'm grateful she seems unharmed. I ran my fingers through my hair, somewhat embarrassed. Not at all, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention either. Are you alright? Yes, I... Quiet voice quickly trails off, but she continues to stare at me with great intensity, looking me up and down with wide eyes. Ah, that's right, the cafe. I don't have time to be wasting here, so I flash her a polite smile and shooting back up the hill and excuse myself. Well, I'm sorry again. Have a nice evening. Puff, puff. Large, leaping strides bring me back to the cups of the hill in record time, with the afternoon sun already fading into an orange glow. Evening is practically here. I have no concrete grasp of how long Baba's cafe from close and should cut and run. But there's one thing I know for certain, and that's that I don't want people and the Winsdale patrons waiting any longer. It's funny, if I let slip that Baba's irresponsibility from looking into this mess in the first place, I'm actually excited, rushing about, serving special blends, putting smiles on customers' faces. It was difficult at first, maybe, but I grew to love it. Positive vibes, Your Majesty. Maybe this will be a good summer after all. With a renewed energy, I began to mentally roll up my sleeves. One second. Alright. Alright. Hang on. Alright. Let's roll. First night on the job. Come on. But just as I round the corner, an unpleasant sight makes my newly buoyed mood sink faster than a stone anchor. What the? Directly outside the cafe, pulled unceremoniously up onto the curb, is a garish red sports car. It's brand new, clearly far too expensive to belong to any resident in Winsdale. Are you serious? What sort of self-centered idiot person let us go in front of my shop entrance? Already ticked off, I watched as an elderly man with a cane struggles to shuffle through the gap in the pavement, grasping at the cafe wall for support. Gets his revenge as he passes by, though, flipping the bird to the car's tinted window as he goes. You go, Grandpa. If I had any doubts that this gaudy ride would spell trouble, they're blown away as soon as the driver steps outside. A tall blonde fop with sunglasses and a jean jacket slams the door behind himself, yawning loudly. Leaning back lazily onto the car, he slips his sunglasses up to his hairline and clicks his tongue at the elderly man's back. I'm about to storm up and give him a piece of my mind, but he pulls out his phone. The latest model looks like, and being snapping up landscape shots of the cafe. May I help you? Sliding his free hand casually into his back pocket, he turns to flash me a smile. It's so not cute. Oh my god. Are you the owner? I squirt my shoulders as much as humanly possible, arms folded cross-legged. Yes, I am. My name's Her Majesty, and I don't appreciate you blocking the door for my customers use. Customers? He quickly raises his eyebrows and looks around at the very now empty street. He pulls down his sunglasses once or twice in a mocking motion. Huh, well, how's that? I guess my prescription's wrong because I don't see a single soul sniffing around. Looks like what you have here is a bona fide dead spot. Dead spot? Better not be insulting my cafe. Another condescending smile slowly stretches across his face. That's going to be awkward. He's clearly looking down on me, doesn't care to provide any kind of answer. He just continues on ignoring my question. Is that a female symbol? Why? Why? And how is that connected to anyone? Right. Not an insult per se. As it so happens, this is exactly the sort of place I'm looking for. With a twinkle in his eye, he straightens up and swings his phone into both hands. His whole demeanor changes as he begins typing on the screen with lightning speed. So what's your special here? Cafe Cabana? Chinese teas? Matcha? You do serve something other than silver tap water. Sure. There's a bottle of rancid milk in the fridge. Ayo, bro, if you got a customer, you won't do that. And also, I actually like cars. I don't know how they work for the life of me, but I like cars. Yes, all of those. We aren't some backwater cafe that only serves standard grips will. So you run this place with someone else? My grandmother, she's not here right now. And what's this place called? Are you freaking kidding me? Look at the sign poster, boy. I sighed, loudly and dramatically. Coffee Curiosities. It's actually not bad. His fingers pause. They're tapping from it. He takes the time to raise a smug eyebrow. Right, bravo. Well, really, it's inspired, a little desperate, and only slightly nauseating. Okay, that's kind of mean. He stands up straight and takes one more large gulping glance at the cafe's facade. When he flips his phone and snaps a headshot of my photo face. It's a perfect blend of material for my blog, that is. Blog? He gives me a look that is equal parts smug and pity. Perhaps the most punchable expression I've ever seen. You have no idea who I am, do you? No. No? Wait, but now that I get a really good look at him, he actually does look somewhat familiar. Here, a souvenir. Don't bend it now. It's for me, boss. So Wink, he slips a business card into my hand. Fancy Gold Corp spells out cuisine blogger and the name Mikhail. Thanks. I guess I'll use it when I run out of toilet paper. Snap the card from his fingers, making sure to look thoroughly impressed as I do. The smarmy veneer cracks just a little at that. Charmed, I'm sure. Now then, let's hope your coffee wildly lives up to my expectations, shall we? I can feel my blood boiling. The weighted smirk plays at the edge of his mouth. It's perfectly obvious what his expectations are. Though I still can't place his face, I've read about bloggers just like him. Vindictive types, trapezing around the country, targeting coffee shops and small customer bases, searching for the worst of the worst for their scathing reviews, like feasting on krill. Jesus Christ. We certainly have high hopes for humanity. For a second time, I slid my gaze grimly over his red sports car with ostentatious wheels, shiny mirrors, and wax spoon. I suppose when you're a scum on the surface of industry, it doesn't matter if you destroy businesses wherever you go, as long as there's coming. Well, he's not going to drag Baba's Cafe through the mud on my watch. So here I am, in the flesh, your only paying customer and all that. I drove 2 hours from the city to find this place. Are you going to let me? I started up to the door and started to unlock it, but immediately that boiling blood is starting to boil over. I'm in no need to play that nice. In fact, just for the audacity to come here and try to mess with a witch's business, he doesn't know you're a witch, do you? I'm perfectly happy to play just a little dirty, with the help of some magic. Flipping my hand inconspicuously behind my back, I set to wave a spell in the air. I stepped towards him, all the while with a sweet smile plastered on my face. Sure, I don't have a problem with that. You're welcome to try my coffee, quickest way to get you off my property. But you might not want to stop inside just yet, because Seagull just stole your phone. What? He pivots on his heels to sit with the gigantic seabird that is now squatting on the top of the roof of his car, spoon beak. Just to see that after being summoned, they took the time to excrete on the car before it landed too. Oh my god. It's a nice touch when you say something so. Jesus. Jesus. Hey, Birdie, I'm going to need you to give me my phone back now. It's very expensive and it was a gift, so. Alright, just give it back, yeah? Deliciously flustered. Mikhail, I just closer to the seagull, trying not to stare at that and she disguised its phone and phone. Please? Seagull thinks Sam was bored and different, so just give it back to me. And I just toward the seabird in it like a complete idiot. Finally compelled to move, the bird immediately drops the phone and rocks itself up into the air. And then processes its claw wet feet tear through the fragile paint and metal on the car roof, leaving a permanent deep scar on the surface. Oops. Mikhail rushes forward and falls upon the car in misery like a man whose soul has been crushed. Bianca, my darling, no, no! Oh god, father's going to kill me. Breathe. Timing's impeccable. I almost convinced I'd somehow cast a second spell. Mikhail's phone explosively starts ringing. Popping the caller ID, the blood drains from his face. Father, it's good to hear from you. No, I'm fine. You're back from Hawaii? Yeah, of course I can, but, Father, about the car you bought me. Well, it's a funny story. Having completely forgotten me, Mikhail woefully shuffled away out of the earshot to take the phone call. That wasn't my fault, right? Nah, accident, Your Majesty, not vandalism. Just an accident. It's all your fault, dude. Just take responsibility. Yep, nothing to worry about. And so, mostly smug, yet just ever so slightly regretting my influence on this turn of events, I take the opportunity to back away through the cafe door, swinging the sign to open along the way. Minutes, and then tens of minutes painfully tick by. Not a single potential customer steps inside or even hazards a peek through the windows. I start by leaning over the counter, head in palms, alternating between watching the clock hands and the bell above the door, but I quickly get bored, and my twitchy hands tap the counter, searching for something to do. Mikhail's business card is nearby, exactly where it is thrown it earlier, so I retrieve it, twirl it around absentmindedly. Let's find how famous this guy really is. Whoa, seriously? A quick phone search pulls up hundreds of results. Blog posts with hits into the tens of thousands, sponsorship ties to the prominent worldwide cafe chain Moonbucks, a hefty follower base on social media, and even a narcissistic modeling portfolio of monochrome shirtless photographs. Just great, as if I don't have enough problems with them. Yeah, what's with these pictures? He's dripping wet in half of them. Did someone turn on a hose or something? So stupid. Ayo, I actually like those kinds of pictures I'll have, you know? I mean, I also like chubby guys, but yeah. Chubby guys are even better, not gonna lie. But those photos are nice too. Now more irked than ever, I chuck my phone aside and go back to watching the clock. All this inactivity is doing nothing except stiffening my muscles and making me anxious. 30 minutes and not a whiff of anyone. Not even one of the regulars. That just can't be right. I recall my previous summers here, and there's always non-magic, except witch folk around, mingling, joking, and shooting friendly banter back and forth with Baba. Back then, her cafe never seemed to want him for a patron. Each day, a steady stream of satisfied customers would come and go at an even pace. It had never been busy, but it was comfortable. Sure, it's unlikely that there'd be a lot of witch folk making the trip right now. No doubt they're all up on the mountain top with Baba, picking nutboard, betting on dwarfing rules. But for there to be no non-magics around either? I glance back at the clock, disappointed by what I see. It's far too late now to be trying to pluck customers off the street, but if I do root around, there may be something of use laying around somewhere, so it's trying to be productive in some capacity. I trawl through some of the lower kitchen cupboards, hoping to find something to use to attract new customers in the morning. Sensing activity, Hannibal slinks into the kitchen, curls around my leg. With a pointed meow, she leans me to a hatch under a rug on the floor, below one of the open cupboards. Nice, good job, Hannibal. She purrs sulkily and continues to circle around as I rummage through the contents of the hatch box. There isn't much of use, but I do stumble on an old board sign for advertising and some pastel chopsticks. This is perfect. If I spruce it up a little, it'll do for a menu at the end of the street. Hannibal pokes her little head beneath my arm, demanding scratches for her hard work. I'm so distracted, I fail to hear the bell chiming at the door. Good girl. Who's going to get some wishy tonight? That's right, you are. Excuse me? Just a second, I'll be right with you. Clutching the bruised crown of my head, I just exchange blows with the cupboard door. That's actually kind of funny. I like that sentence. I totter embarrassedly back onto my feet and heave myself over the counter. A radiant sight greets me. Oh, hello. Fishies? Sorry, I was talking to the cat. Oh, I remember you. Her eyes visibly sparkling, her cheeks pinking. You do? Of course, the lady from the beach, right? I'm so sorry again for bumping you into you back there. Oh no, that's quite alright. So that's what you meant. Huh? Somehow she looks kinda sad. Did I say something wrong? An awkward silence settles over us. She starts to comb a finger nervously through loose curled hair. Well, this is a fine way to start the evening, by making my only customer uncomfortable. Applying my kindness and a sincere smile, I gesture towards one of the seats at the counter. I can at least salvage the situation by acting professional now. Where are my manners? You're here to order, right? What can I get you? We have the menu around here somewhere. From a rummage behind the counter, through her body language is shy, the one striking sandy eyes watching me intently. I can't help but feel a little nervous. Yeah, here it is. I slide the menu across the counter. A lavish, high-end tablet listing all of our served items, including coffee blend, black, white, green tea, small meats, and desserts. This tablet, much like the cafe itself, has a mystical secret up its sleeve. Coffee-shaped tab on the screen, enchanted to be invisible to non-magic customers, conceals a hidden second menu, one that displays some of Baba's oldest potions and other recipes designed for more natural patrons. I admit, I was surprised to find earlier to find such a thing myself. A paper menu was all that had existed before. The tablet looks brand new and screams impulse purchase, which unfortunately also happens to be one of Baba's many bad habits. The woman graciously takes the tablet from me. Tucking a periwinkle curl behind one of her stylish earrings, she begins scrolling intuitively through the menu. She's so elegant and glamorous, and her eyelashes have this beautiful tone quality. Black waves breaking on the beach at night. Distraught that was I so ashamed. I was curiously struck by a sense of familiarity, but then, you have nothing new on the menu, I take it? Oh, sorry. You could say I'm somewhat of a regular here. I know this place and its owner very well. Oh, then I take you also know my grandmother's out of town right now. I do, but it's no trouble at all. I didn't come here to see today to see her. She tilts her head shyly. It's a devastating mood, but I don't think she's doing it on purpose. Is she enjoying her vacation? Yeah, I'm sure she's having a whale of a time. She pulls stunts like this far too often. I'm half convinced she dragged me back here just to rope me into running this place for a week. The woman shuffles somewhat bashfully in her seat, lowering eyes to her lap. Well, if it brought me back to Linsdale, then I'm glad she did. Just think of this as a delicious encounter. Did she mean to say Sarah Penn? You know what I said. With a gentle smile, she clears her throat and taps the spring with her nail. The highlight of the drink is a salty kelp latte, popular sea-based item from the secret menu. This one, if I may, it's my usual order. Huh? Sure thing. It'll be just a moment. I flash her a knowing smile before stepping over to the kitchen area to prepare her order. As I lay my hands on the glass bottle of kelp leaves, a spark of inspiration hits me, and so I prepare the drink of magic. Nobody else here. Why ordinary when I can afford to be a little flamboyant? Snap of my fingers in a series of illuminating shapes stretched in the air. The ingredients heed my call and begin to dance around the flourish. Dash of sea salt water, a pinch of sugar, and a starlish round of salty kelp. The kelp blades weave their way through the air until they collide in her way, crushing themselves into fine powder. Follows like emerald snow as the basin of the china cup that dances its way into the woman's hands. Wow, it's so beautiful. Pretty cool, right? The magic show's not finished yet. Last to arrive is a steamed milk, unfurling itself from a nearby jug like a porcelain ribbon. It winds its way into the cup, slowly mixing with the other ingredients. As the last drop falls, I bring my palms forward to bless her in its final drop of something special, pinch of magic. And now for the finishing touch. Can you tell me your name? She looks agitated. She has particular trouble answering the question. It's, Kiana. Alright, type Kiana. Reach across the counter for a thin nozzle bottle filled with caramel, and in small delicate letters write her name across the milky foam. And there we have it, bon appetit. As she puts the drink to her lips, the warm steam brings a soft flush to her cheek. A small content sigh escapes her as she returns the cup to the saucer. So, my salty kelp latte, does it meet a mermaid's approval? Yes, very much so. It's gumptious. Aha, glad to hear it. I'm pretty sure you mean scrumptious. Oh my god, this is embarrassing. Your language is still so, hard? Right, I've been studying so much about, I still mess up all the time. Her whole face breaks out in fierce flush. The quiet elegance of seen in her earlier has completely peeled away. Nothing could have prepared me for this. It's like her demeanor has done a complete 180. I thought she was demure, but I guess she's just shy about making mistakes in front of a human. In her way, it's about absolutely adorable. Don't apologize, it's cute. The way you mix up the words reminds me of... No way, Kia! And so, I've been visiting a cafe ever since my brinneling ended. I suppose I look quite different now, don't I? That's quite the understatement. I didn't recognize you at all. An hour later, Kia and I are sitting together, Lottie's in hand at the counter. We've been talking so animatedly. I barely think either of us had paused for breath. By now, I recognized her familiar shyness and her adorable mannerisms. But I have to admit, seeing her adult human form for the first time is still throwing me for a loop. Perfectly understandable when I consider she looked like a child 3 years ago. The changes to her face in particular are profound, but not unexpected. After all, I know very well that mer people experience growth very differently from humans. A mer person's childhood, their brittling period, will last from the time they hatch until they reach the normal age of human adolescence. Without the brittling, mer children would barely appear to age at all, maintaining a childlike appearance for years and years. And then, if the brittling wings out, what awaited them was a highly accelerated transformation into adult body, and the ability to adopt a second form. Here I met Kia because we couldn't really communicate at first. I remember wanting to learn more about her kind. I found out about the brittling and it changed to one of Bob's old books. And as I recall, I had to climb up her bookcase like a monkey to get it. Slipped on the way up. Kia cried for hours when I turned up at the beach, covered in bruises. Hey Finley, you're sitting on my cord! Finley! So when did your brittling end? When I was about 17. It was a year and 3 months after you left. Not that I was counting. When she catches me smiling, Kia turns away and scrambles for a drink. It's the cutest thing ever. Give me 1 second. I'm getting a bunch of ads on my phone. It's annoying. Okay. But I'm suddenly reminded of something else. Wait, earlier didn't you say your name was Kiana? Well, you see, after you didn't seem to recognize me at the beach, I was a little embarrassed. She sighed heavily, resting her hand over her heart. And even though I came to the cafe just to see you again, I still couldn't bring myself to say anything. Oh, but Kiana is a land name, introduced myself, so I wasn't exactly lying to you. I just have trouble pronouncing it when we were children. I do use it around Hinsdale. My family in the ocean still use my sea name, of course. I probably shouldn't pry into that. Mermaid sea names are private, intimate things after all. I guess I should be careful not to call her Kia too much right now, though, either. With that niggling question out of the way, I looped the conversation back around to what really matters. My throat hurts. Oh my god. So how was it your changing? I was, better than I expected. Pains were bad for a while, but compared to the others' experience at the same time, my change was relatively quick. She takes a lap, squeals to a super latte, then lays the empty cup down and fingers it pensively. I'm just happy that I'd finally made it to I'm inside. When we used to play on the beach together, we had to go barbecue as well. I chuckle as I head back around the kitchen counter to wash the cups and saucers. No legs? Right. We're growing up, and in my mind I was growing up with you. But physically for me, nothing was changing, and every year it felt like you're getting further and further away. There's nothing I can do. We used to draw so many shapes in the den, all the things I want to do, all the places I want to visit. But because of me, we couldn't do any of it. Her eyes glaze over. She suddenly looks quite dejected. Not wanting to watch her beat herself up, I take her hand in mine. She's blushing now. we can now, right? Exactly. No more hiding in the rock pools, covering up her fins with a blanket I bought from the rock cafe. We can stray as far from the beach as we like now. Go anywhere we want. Your oyster. You just let me know what you want to do. We'll do it. It works like a charm. Kiana's sandy eyes light up. She leans across the counter, brimming with excitement. Okay. Oh, but with your grandmother gone, you'll be working here full time, won't you? Then until we can do something, I'll just stop by every day to see you. I shrugged my shoulders, gesturing towards the empty room in an exaggerated way. Thanks. I'd appreciate the company more always than one. As you can see, this place is exactly hopping. He's out a regular or two, quite honestly. I might try to make ends meet this summer. And based on today, I'll take just about any customer I can get. Anyone but that vain fop anyhow. Though I remember his smug face, the crappier it gets. It's at this point when I realize that I'm not so much drying the cups as grinding the tea towel with that. Jingle jingle. Exactly, you jinxed yourself. The bell at the door rings for a second time. Welcome, just take a seat and I'll be with you straight. Speak of the devil. Mikhail strides inside, looking interior over both hands shoved into his jean pocket with a slightly furrowed brow. He was looking decidedly less cool and collected this afternoon. That's obviously he's trying his best to mask it. Nice place we have here. The directly cracks in the walls are a particularly nice feature. But he's not cute. Not at all. Oh my god, you're lying to yourself. Also the cringe. Okay. Bro, why are these people so angry about everything in these things? My jaw joints creak like unoiled metal but force a smile. Linsdale's tourism prides itself on the town's invigorating, beachy sea breeze. Why deprive our customers just because they're indoors? Cute, very cute. Since Keon's discomfort, I guess you're the counter feeds with an audible cough. Well, sit down if you're here to order. You are here to order. Kale slides into the seat directly beside Keon. He beams obnoxiously as he pulls out his phone. Of course, and I don't need a menu. You're serving your best attempt at coffee. Are you going to pay for it? Please, of course I will. I'm not trying to put you out of business. So I retreat to the back of the kitchen to begin scooping and grinding the coffee beans. I keep one watchful eye on Mikhail at all times. Thankfully, his gaze is still roaming all over the interior. He isn't trying to snap pictures. But obviously searching for something. Juicy tidbit. A draw for a story. And so, after his eyes complete the rounds of the decor, he naturally comes to fall on his neighbor. Are you a regular? Yes, I come here almost every week. His eyes widen in genuine surprise. Really? What's your usual order? If it's second, maybe I should have a bowl of that order too. She flutters her eyes at me, begging for assistance, but I'm way ahead of her. I make 3 strides back to the counter in a heartbeat and step in. She's a special customer. Her order's not in the menu. It's, shall we say, an acquired local taste. I doubt you'd like it. Gotta admit, though, slowly tempted to put seawater in the coffee just for the heck of it. Must resist. Well, that's a shame. You have to let me in on the secret of the drink sometime, miss. Ever sweet and polite, Kiana holds out her hand to introduce herself. Kiana, just Kiana is fine, and I'm afraid I don't know much about the recipe or coffee for that matter. Just as I became concentrated, Mikhail might be about to defile Kiana's hand with a kiss, and then one of his pretentious business cards appears in his hands, and he drops it into hers. Enchante, I'm Mikhail, and I just happen to be expert in coffee. I'm a cafe blogger. Oh, cuisine? Ah, it's pronounced cuisine, Kiana. Turn to Mikhail and scramble for a cover-up. She's not from around. With her accent, it doesn't look convinced at all, but thanks to Kiana's pure-hearted curiosity for service. Write about food? Then you're here to write about coffee curiosities. Yes, that's an intention. No doubt you've heard of mine. Kiana has already stopped listening. Majesty, this is perfect. Now you don't have to worry about finding customers. Once you taste your coffee, you're sure to love it. If you write something good, people will come from all over Linstow. Kiana was sweet summer child. Your innocence is wasted on me. He's not that kind of blogger. As I slowly turn the coffee grinder and give Mikhail a disapproving side eye, he shifts in his seat. Twitchy guy sitting beside you on the visit coffee shops and starts to be dead. This blog is just a collection of hatchet jobs designed to shock him into taking any business he writes about. He's only here because he thinks my coffee is going to taste so bad, so undeniably terrible, make for a juicy article. To land last ink, I grind the rest of the coffee beans to the desk. Or have I missed anything out? Mikhail practically rolls his eyes into the next century. Hey, now, you make it sound like I'm the enemy here. Ask my darling ladies and readers, and they'll tell you. The only 2 things I'm guilty of in this business are being criminally handsome and honest. The coffee they served at all those other cafes just happened to be honestly awful. So just think of it this way. This is a perfectly fair chance to impress me. Not that you will. I've savored all the finest blends in the world has to offer. You're welcome to try. It seems to take Kiana a few moments to process all of this information, because she still isn't all too knowledgeable about the side of human society yet. But once it does click it into place, she looks crushed. But that's, how could you do something like that to hardworking people? That's so despicable. Oh, and I guess that one was supposed to be despicable. I'm happy she has my back, but Kiana's just wasting her breath. Besides, this coffee critic is unwittingly challenged a witch. I'm not the one who's about to be eaten alive. Right, Kiana. He has the right to do what he likes, and so do I. All I have to do is prove him wrong, so go ahead. With a single finger, I slide a cup across the counter in one fluid motion. Tops just shy of Mikhail's hand, taunting him like a gauntlet being laid down in a declaration of war. It emits a powerful, bitter aroma, so tantalizing that gluing stay there and doesn't let go. I don't like coffee, to be honest. The mouth-watering aroma, no person could resist. I don't like coffee. Secret house blend with a little pinch of something special mixed in. I sneak Kiana mischievously, but she understands my meaning implicitly. Drink up, you won't be disappointed. What's the matter? You should drink it before it gets cold. I won't let you use the excuse I was bad tempted because the room is flavor violating the sense bring with a devilry. I decided to push him just a little further. As the expert, you won't make that mistake, would you? Watching him squirm and tug at the collar of his jacket, I was enjoying myself far too much. Still, I don't take my eyes off him. I stare him down until he finally gives in. Let's kill and all that bravado, and it's mediocre after all. But he takes another sip, accepts it completely, and another, completely, and another. He drinks and drinks until the mirror rips away, and he finally throws his head back, shamelessly chugging the hot liquid until he's lapped up every drop, and the bottom of the cup is all that remains. Punching over, he slams the cup down. Stanford stares at it with dumb disbelief. He's shaken and a little breathless, and there's something clouded about his expression. Delicious. Alright guys, I've had enough. I am going to literally die if I keep playing, so have a nice day guys.